to Edu-meh-cation. Podcast 3 is going to be a spin-off of our last podcast on PBIS. If you missed the podcast on PBIS, have a listen on our YouTube channel. And by the way, in case you forgot or you're not quite sure, PBIS stands for Positive Behavioral Interventions and Supports.
Very nice, Kari. The reason we started talking about PBIS is because as educators, we have seen, heard, and experienced firsthand a decline in things like politeness, manners, behaviors, and we've seen a rise in entitlement, lack of work ethic, and perseverance, lack of problem solving, and as you can imagine, the list continues. One teacher actually wrote to us saying that their district is not even allowed to use the word consequences as part of redirection with students. That was something new to us.
And another teacher reached out and told us he has challenging and disrespectful behaviors in a small group he teaches. And he stated he's not sure when it's time to set some consequences for their rude and disrespectful behavior. And this could be a whole different topic. And many educators lack true classroom management or are too scared to use proper classroom management for fear of parents and administration supporting the parents.
Right.
And our philosophy when we taught, and still continues to be our philosophy, is set those expectations right away, beginning of the year, beginning of the group time, whatever, and have those tough discussions with the families, setting those expectations. And we actually sent out our classroom expectations written out for parents at the beginning of school years, and we went through those at a parent night verbally with them as well. And then parents could refer back to them if need be, and also for us to refer back to them as well. And the follow through with expectations and consequences is how you and I set those healthy boundaries and built those respectful, really trusting and healthy relationships with the kiddos.
Right. We made sure that the parents and the students all knew, not just one or the other, because it's a team.
Exactly.
We understand that everything we see in education, including and perhaps especially in elementary, becomes a product of our society. And we don't just feel this, we've seen it. We've seen our students grow into adults. As mentioned in our previous podcast, I want to share one of so many stories. This story is about a family friend and not one of our students. This individual went through schooling receiving positive rewards for expected behaviors, receiving rewards for showing up to class, receiving rewards for attempting to complete an assignment. So expected school behavior. In the conversations that I had with this family member, they shared that they totally used the system. They knew that nothing real or serious was ever going to come from any consequences. They also said that as they got older in the system, it almost became a joke how easily they could manipulate these things to get their way. They would leave class early. They wouldn't complete assignments. They would ask for extra treats. And this student eventually graduated. Now, once that person was out in the workforce, their question always became, well, what will I get if I do that? And I couldn't understand that. I couldn't understand that philosophy. What do I get out of it? But that's how they were raised through our school system. That's how they were raised through education. What do I get if I complete this? there have been a lot of long conversations had with this family friend, explaining that what you get is you get to be a positive part of society. You get to possibly own a car, live on your own, you get a job. That's what you get as an adult. You get to contribute positively to society, and you get to live independently. But we're not raising these students with that mind frame because they've never had to work for anything.
Yep.
So it's an incredible disservice to our students. That's how we feel.
Mm-hmm.
It's a disservice to our students to reward them for expected behavior continually, not just in elementary, but all the way through schooling, even as a senior in high school, still getting PBIS rewards for expected behavior.
Yes.
I was able to have this conversation with this family friend several times, and they have learned that what they expected in school or what they got in school isn't reality. But what about those students that don't have someone to have those conversations with?
Exactly.
And so who do they become?
Yep.
What part of society do they contribute to?
Right. Ugh. And so interesting. And I've experienced quite frequently this same mentality at the early elementary level.
Mm-hmm.
And when the kiddos in my small groups have come to the table, it's like they think it's time for them to do the lesson and
lead the lesson.
Exactly. Are we going to play a game today, or can we do this today? And I have to say almost every day, no, I have plans. I am the teacher. You are the student. You are going to go according to my plans.
Right.
And I do it in a respectful way, but in a way that they need to know they're not the boss. They come, with their own agenda. And, but then on days I do choose to do some sort of a learning game like bingo or, something with, educational topics, they want a prize. Even though they know my philosophy is your prize is what you're learning and having fun with that, they still ask, what do I get? What is my prize? And it's quite frustrating.
It's super frustrating. I remember one year at conferences, we had a parent come to us and we had to have some difficult discussions with this parent about the child at conferences. These weren't the first times that we'd had this conversation with the parents, but the dad said to us, well, what are you doing to entertain him? And Kari and I both looked at each other kind of shocked because, first of all, as we said to this parent, our job is to teach your child, not to entertain. Although I did say to the parent too, if he's not entertained in our classroom, I don't know what would entertain him.
Right.
We did know that this kiddo was a big gamer at home. So they're always getting that immediate, response. And that has put a big challenge on teachers in the classroom because we're not going to be, jumping up and down saying, good for you, you got the answer again. We're not, it's not going to be
coin.
Yeah, it's not going to be bells and whistles. But with that said, we did a lot of fun stuff in our classroom. Mm-hmm. And so it was like, wow, the parent is putting this onus on us as well, not just to teach the child, but now to be an entertainer.
Right.
Boy, when I was growing up, I loved, and I will never, say anything against my amazing teachers in elementary school, but I went to a Catholic school with nuns. I can't imagine them entertaining us.
Right.
That was not what I went to school for. So, but even as we were saying that, and and I was saying, I have no idea where he would be entertained, because in our classroom we would do things like impromptu dances. We would notice the kids needed to get some wigglies out, and all of a sudden we'd put a song on and we'd get up and dance, and the kids could choose to dance with us or just get up and watch whatever they wanted to do. We did all kinds of jokes on each other.
Yes.
It was a fun classroom.
It was. And after we did those things, we had to work with them on, okay, now we had that fun. How do we get back to our learning mode again? And
exactly.
And again, they knew our expectations. We can have fun and for a couple minutes if we know how to get back to learning.
Back into the learning.
Okay, I have a funny story. Story time. This is when Heather and our students played a little joke on me. And this happened frequently, these types of jokes. Heather is very good at playing jokes on me.
I don't know what she's talking about.
So I'm pretty sure I was getting ready we were transitioning from probably her doing the main lesson to me doing the next main lesson. And so I went to get the remote for our projector to project, I suppose, the slideshow that I was ready to show or something. I couldn't find the remote anywhere. And yes, I could have gotten up and, turned on the power up above me, but that's just too much effort.
Well, you were doing such a good job of trying to teach as you were looking for it, which the students and I already knew it was hidden.
Yes.
So it was fun just even watching you try to continue with the lesson as she's looking for tools that she needs to continue teaching the lesson.
And I can multitask usually, but not very well. So yes, I'm like trying to, introducing the lesson as I'm like, where is that? It's usually in a very obvious place. And then I see Heather's look and I knew something was up. And she says, well, we're going to play hot and cold to find the remote. And the students all started laughing. So I know they know where it is, but I don't. And so I'm going around the room and everybody is involved. Heather's saying hot or cold or warm or whatever. And the students are just having a blast and
good laughter.
And they can see like it's good to do the joking around. It's fun. And then once I found the remote, which probably took a while knowing me, we got into our lesson.
Yeah.
So it's just,
you can have fun in the classroom. It can be a super joyous place to be.
Yes.
If you are able to manage and train the students so that they understand, oh, that was super fun. I want to do that again, but now it's work time. I have to get to work.
Right.
And so, yeah, it is fun. But I think that with all of this, these rewards and things that we have seen in the classrooms, we're concerned.
Mm-hmm.
We're concerned because we see it now societally. We see the same things that are happening down in first, second, third grade as these students are becoming adults. A couple things that we thought about. One of our friends actually had mentioned one of these to us. They wrote to us and they said, what is it with these tip jars that we see everywhere? And that got us thinking, like, again, oh, what are they getting out of doing their job that they're already getting paid for? That is possibly a connection to the things that are happening in the classroom.
Yep.
Another thing is we had a conversation with a manager in these past couple of weeks, and he was telling me that his manager pulled him aside, and the person I was speaking to was a little older than me, pulled him aside and said that he had come across too abrasive to one of the employees that he was talking to. And so the manager said, well, what did I do that was abrasive? And it came down to the fact that the employee felt intimidated because he was using eye contact. which we know that there are different countries and different ways that people interact, and sometimes in other countries eye contact shows disrespect, but in this country eye contact has always been a way to show respect.
Exactly.
And we were always taught to have eye contact, and I don't think that's wrong.
Right. I don't think so either.
At least in our country.
Right.
That's not wrong. And so if we are now allowing students to not learn what it looks like to have eye contact, so that then when someone does have eye contact with them, they feel intimidated, we are doing a disservice to society.
Yep.
So that was just, another story that we were like, gosh, this is what's happening when these students leave us and go into society. And another example, maybe not, is the amount of remote work.
Yeah.
So we have been told that 21st century people need to be able to work as a team. A lot of our things that we do in the classroom, a lot of our lessons promote teamwork, try to introduce students to work together on problem solving. But if we have so many people now going to remote work, is there something there? Are they not comfortable working with people? Is teamwork not something that we're doing a good job of teaching? Or are they just so used to being within themselves, gaming or on, media, social media, whatever, that they just don't know how to work with each other?
Exactly. Or coming home from school and just going outside and playing and problem solving with real life situations.
These are all things that we just wonder about. We wonder, are these things that we're seeing in society now that education is perhaps part of the reason we're seeing these? Not completely. I mean, I want to give it to all of our teachers, including us. We work hard. We work hard to give our students the best. But we're not the only ones that are making the decisions.
Exactly.
And actually, we probably have less of a say in the decision making than we should have. In our class.
For sure.
So that's kind of where we were at with our thoughts this week. We'd love to know your thoughts on that. Do you think there's something to these questions? Do you have other ideas, solutions? We would love to hear from you. Remember, Edu-meh-cation, Edu-meh-cation @gmail.com. Please send us your thoughts and your ideas. We would love to hear from you. And thanks to those of you that are already sending your thoughts and ideas to us.
Yes.
Remember, education may be a little meh right now,
but let's change that together.
Thanks.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.